Hello, and welcome to The Silver Lining, the weekly geekly talk show where we discuss any number of topics that may have come up during the week in our geeky world, usually video game related, but, whatever we really feel like talking about. I am your host, Uncle Silver, a.k.a. Silver Greg, a.k.a. Greg, whatever you feel like calling me, and welcome to you, my co-host, the chat. You guys always make this a lot more fun than just me talking into a camera for 2 hours. But I love your feedback. I love the way you get to add to the conversation, and it's more interesting. It's a dialogue is always more interesting than a monologue, especially a 2-hour monologue. Ace Fox, what's going on? Delicious. Arizona iced tea, Arnold Palmer. Man, it's been a weird week for gaming news. There have been some interesting things. A couple of things that I wanted to talk about. One that annoyed me, and one that I'm a little confused about. But we'll do viewer topics also, so you guys can comment on anything that you might or question anything that you might want to question, just in case there's stuff that I missed. It was kind of a bad week at the beginning of the week for me. How did you know that's what I'm drinking? Because that's what I'm drinking. Yeah, it was kind of a weird week. I got news. Somebody was in the hospital at the beginning of the week, and I wasn't really sure what was going on. Arnold Palmer half and half. That's right. Well, that's what Arnold Palmer. For anybody that's never had it before, Arnold Palmer is half iced tea, half lemonade. It's very good. It's frustrating because Arizona makes, and I've only ever seen them in the cans, but the supermarket that I go to doesn't sell the cans. But Arizona sells half iced tea, half pink lemonade, and that's amazing. But I can't really find it anywhere. Got a hot take. You can say it here. We've got viewer topics coming up later on. Hopefully you'll be here for that. We'll discuss it then. Unless it's something, incredibly spicy that we'll get into. But yeah. Other than that, it was kind of a weird week. I was getting recovering. I was on vacation from work last week, so then this week was like my first week back, and I had some dental work done last week that was a bit painful and takes a lot of getting used to. So now I'm getting kind of into it. I'm kind of okay with what I had some extractions done is the simple answer. But I've got more work to do. Cyber the Wolf, what's going on? And hello, Artwing, Dragoon Knight, CT, if I didn't actually say hello. The pink lemonade was both rare and delicious. It's so good though. It's I think the next time I find it, I'm gonna end up buying like a case of it and just bringing it home. I used to do stuff like that. Oh, excuse me. They used to sell these. They when I was buying them, they were marketed as Spice Girls lollipops. They were the clear. It was like clearish pink bottom half, clear top half. And inside was gum, and then they would stamp like a picture of something on it, and then it came in like this foil wrapper. So we found a place that had them, and we bought boxes of them because they were so delicious. And it was goofy to say, "Oh, I'm eating Spice Girls lollipops," but they were so delicious. So we would do that. I used to buy these red hot potato chips, and they were very, very uncommon to find. Like this particular brand. So I found a place that had them, and I tried to buy the whole box of them. And the guy's like, "No, we don't sell the box." So I was like, "Okay, give me 12 bags of them." So about 12 bags of chips, just because I wanted to have them over the next like 6 days. Because you could only eat them like 2 bags a day. Otherwise, you were paying for it. What's the difference between lemonade and pink lemonade in terms of flavor? It's hard to say. Pink lemonade definitely has a more dominant flavor, where you know how lemonade is very tart because it's lemon. Oh, thank you so much, Cyber the Wolf, for the 40 bits. I've been busy getting things together, but mostly playing games. And thank you, Elements, for the invitation to the host club. But yeah, like lemonade has a very tart flavor, but that's all you kind of taste. It's not like you're drinking a lemon. The lemon itself tastes tart, so that's really all you're getting with lemonade. Pink lemonade generally has a bit of a sweetness to it. In terms of flavor, not in terms of sugar. It's hard to say. It's really hard to explain. They're similar feeling, but they're like both of them feel tart, but pink lemonade has a little bit of extra flavoring to it. But it's a different flavor. I wouldn't really know how to describe it. I would describe it as pink lemonade. Like, that's like saying, what does iced tea taste like? Like, iced tea is iced tea. Like, that's a flavor. Drinking on a Palmer, half and half. Eating Philly cheesesteak. That's what I'm doing. And that's supported a Project Ultimate or the distro. I'm not familiar with Project Ultimate. Yeah, I'm reading CT's thing there. Yeah, later on when we get to the viewer topics, bring it up again and let me know. I'm not too familiar with what Project Ultimate is. I'm assuming it's some sort of Smash Brothers hack. Evening, Greg. Also, I think Cam is out of sync, at least for me. Is Cam out of sync for everybody else? It wouldn't be too surprising. Yeah, subtly sweeter but tastes pink. Yeah, it's kind of hard to it's hard to say it, but that's kind of accurate. Or a bit of a fruity flavor to me. Yeah, I suppose there's a fruit. It's a little sweeter in the way that you would put strawberry. You know what I mean? Like when something is naturally sweetened, a lot of the time. I just had this grape juice the other day that was more naturally sweetened, like it had less sugar, but the way they naturally sweetened it was that it had some apple juice in it. Which works. It still tasted like grape juice. It also had an extra bit of sweetness, but the sweetness came from the apple juice. It's kind of like that. Like, instead of just lemonade with a bunch of sugar in it, there's another flavor in there that kind of adds to the sweetness. Kind of how grape soda tastes purple. If you remember I remember Project M, the Melee mod of Brawl. That's fine. Yeah. Ultimate with Melee physics is... that's kind of weird. I think sometimes they put strawberry in it, too. Occasionally, you'll get carrot juice extract. I don't like carrot juice. Like cucumber water. I have heard that cucumber water is very good for you. I don't know why it's good for you. I've just heard that it's very good for you. This is going to be weird. I don't like cucumbers. I've talked 1,000 times before how I'm a picky eater and there's a lot of things that I won't eat. Cucumber's one of those things that I never really got into eating. Would I care about cucumber water, or is it one of those, I have no interest in shoving a lemon into my mouth, but putting lemon in my water is very great. Are we in viewer topics? No, Diego's viewer topics is the end portion of the show. This is always the beginning. Now we're talking about lemonade and pink lemonade. Hope the weather's nice up there. I will take some of that pizza. And the weather is like low 40s here. It's actually not too bad. It's supposed to get colder though over the next few days. I always hear cucumber water is very good for you, and I have no. What about no? I don't like pickles. I don't like pickles because I can't stand the smell of pickles. That's one of those that anything that I don't like the smell of, I won't eat. It just I can't. I'll gag reflex before I'll be able to even get it near me. Yeah, see, I love pickles. See, yeah, I no interest in any of that. I don't like the way they smell. It's I don't know. It smells like cucumbers soaked in urine, which I don't actually know what that's like. But how are you guys doing, by the way? How has the week been for everybody else? Hopefully the week has been pretty good. I know the weather was kind of all over the place. It was super, super nice this week here. I don't know, some places were getting the crap kicked out of them. I don't care much for cucumbers either. Love pickles. I like cucumbers in salad, but not on their own. Why do people put pickles in their Kool-Aid? Never heard of that. I have a headache, but I did go see Alita today. How was it? So it was good. Alita was good. How was it compared to the original movie? I'm good. About to go to work soon. Oh, very nice. Oh, judging by your screen name, I am assuming you are going to fly a ship and defend us all on Corneria. Corneria, right? Learning how to use OBS and beating Onimusha on the Switch. OBS is fantastic. That's what I use. I thought about trying to learn XSplit, I think is the other one, but I hear XSplit is more resource intensive on your computer, and this computer is barely handling OBS. So, and it's a shame too, because it's a great computer. It just, I think I beat it up too much with tasks. I really enjoyed Alita. A little bit stilted dialogue, but it had a bit of 90s anime dub charm. I've not read or watched the original Alita. Oh, I've watched the original anime, the original Battle Angel, and it was great. I thought it was really good. It's freezing today. Had to wear my leather jacket. Unfortunately, the smell of leather gives me a head. What? I love the smell of leather. I used to go to the leather department at Burlington Coat Factory just to walk around, because God knows I wasn't buying any one of them. I'm good. I needed to stream though. Turns out the amount I was told to pay for my health insurance was wrong, and they waited till today to let me know and charge me interest. Oh wow. Welcome to another way that health insurance can screw you. But it was fun, a big spectacle cyborg movie, so I'd say give it a okay. That sounds. I mean, if I was to go to the movies to watch anything right now, it would be Into the Spider-Verse, just because I haven't seen it yet. But I probably wouldn't. I don't expect to go to the movies for anything other than hopefully Captain Marvel. Definitely Avengers Endgame. As much as I love Gits, I say this was better than the live action Ghost in the Shell movie. The live action Ghost in the Shell movie I thought was fine. I thought it did a better job than the anime of helping you understand exactly what was going on, because I won't lie, the first couple of times I watched the anime, I was a little confused. Slowly but surely I got it, but I was a little confused. I thought they did a really good job with that movie. I thought that trying to explain the Scarlett Johansson quote unquote whitewashing debate, I thought that it was interesting because they worked it into the movie. I thought that was very cool. Crap, didn't know you were live. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, Sally. I usually post on Twitter. I actually didn't post on Twitter this time that I was going live. To be more specific, it's the smell of car. Oh, Ace, I don't like that smell. I don't like being stuck in a car. It used to be worse. With cheap leather, it used to be a lot worse. I used to get car sick, and part of it was being in the car when it was hot, and there was the leather smell, and then my father always had one of those stupid pine tree air fresheners that always made me throw up. Yeah, it was really bad. But yeah, I'm better. I'm a lot better with that. But yeah, I do love like leather jacket smell, but getting in a car I don't like it. I finished Kingdom Hearts 3. It was so good. But please don't spoil it for anybody else. Quite frankly, I probably wouldn't play it until I played all the other ones, which is like a year away. Like, it would be a year for me to get through all of the other games. That's valid. The animes are full of a lot of techno babble, but that's what. And you know what, Elements? They also like to. Anime likes to get very technical, and they also like to leave a lot of things open, because it always continues in the manga, or it started in the manga, so there's a few things that they didn't answer. Like, they always try and leave these things sort of open-ended, and I never really like that, because I want a movie. I want a complete a beginning to end movie, and what I always end up getting is the beginning of a great story, and then at the end the beginning of the next great story, but then I don't get that story, and I can't follow manga. It's just too much of it. There's too much. Love that movie without spoiling. They basically kill Uncle Ben twice. Oh, okay. True, it was an interesting workaround. The Gits movie wasn't that bad. It was a fun little. Yeah, it was all I needed. I don't need every movie to be triple A Oscar contender. Sometimes I just want to watch a fun movie with an interesting story. Trying to keep it with the conversation, but I just woke up, so I find myself. That's okay, Rocky Bear. If you need to sleep, you sleep, and you watch the VOD later here, or you watch it over on YouTube. Kingdom Hearts Switch collection. I don't know why they couldn't. I mean, Kingdom Hearts, everything up until 3, technically, I think is something the Switch can handle. I really don't see why they couldn't do all of it. Is the movie based in the original or a standalone? The original. I believe it's based in the original with the Puppet Master and all of that stuff. They nicked a lot of shots. For the Ghost in the Shell movie. Oh my God, some shots were shot for shot remake. Somebody, if you look on YouTube, I think YouTube had it. YouTube has everything. Somebody did a side-by-side of the intro for the movie and the intro for the anime, and they layered them side by side, and it was great. It was very, very close to exact copies of each other. But I like that. I like when they do stuff like that. They redid the movie The Omen maybe 15 years ago or something. That I was hearing that was almost shot for shot remake of the original. It's more that Square has been super random about what they. Oh yeah. Well, there's some speculation now that Final Fantasy VII is coming to the Switch relatively soon. But yeah. So let's. Hold on. I want to get into what is it? 318 here. All right, but yeah, Kingdom Hearts I wouldn't mind seeing on the Switch. I would probably play through the first one again and then play through all of the other ones for the first time ever. That would be nice. What I don't want to see. Let's talk about something I don't want to see. Here. Let's get into our first topic. So is that new Final Fantasy VII coming out? Oh, the remake? Who knows when the remake's coming out? The remake will probably never happen. Let's have a conversation here about something that I've kind of had a conversation about before. DB, what's happening? Oh wait, I gotta get my sound effects. What's happening?
Chillax, my dude.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
Thank you for the follow. Moist. Silence looking pretty weird. Let's have a conversation about this, and I've talked before about something related to this. So the new Bubsy game. There's a new Bubsy game that they are. You guys can help me out because there's two aspects of this that I want to discuss. One of which I did not know about. I found out about today. The first aspect I want to talk about is just the existence of Bubsy and this game in the first place. I am sick and tired of this. And I was sick and tired of it the first time we talked about it, because I think we talked about it with the Woolly Strike Back.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
The Unsung Gamer, thank you so much for the follow. I am sick and tired of these trash franchises, like in this particular case, Bubsy, getting reboots as like a meme. It's a joke. Nobody liked the original games. You joked about them as a laugh. You made fun of them. You teased them. That's what you talked about. But you didn't actually like them. So then eventually we get the Woolly Strike Back, Which, okay, because of memes, you want to bring this back. All right, fine. At least make a quality game out of it. They didn't even do that. Well, everybody said the same thing about the Woolly Strike Back. It was as average as you can get, but it was so average that it was bad because you would have expected a lot more. It's a similar thing to the whole Knack 2, baby, Knack 2. Yeah, I see that too, and it's like, but Knack was like average, wasn't it? Did anybody really care about Knack? Like, so, like I said, it would be something if you said, okay, hey, let's bring back Bubsy. Hey, let's bring back Green Dog, the beach surfer dude. Okay, it was a mediocre game at best. You put all your effort into it. Not even money. I don't even want to say money. You put real effort into it. You make a high quality game. People say, "Whoa, it's amazing! This is unbelievable." You did that with Bubsy, and you made an average game. If even that's the best thing you can say about it. And now you're making another one. Stop. There's got to be franchises out there. There's got to be franchises out there more deserving of a revitalization. Even if you throw out that idea, the idea that there's a franchise that's quote unquote deserving of it, there's got to be another franchise out there you can reboot to make you more money. If this is a money grab, reboot something else that people will actually like, and you'll make more money. Obviously, this is not an Accolade game. Accolade is the one that does Bubsy. Obviously, this is not an Accolade game that I'm about to mention. But if the idea was to go out there and make money, and say we want to make something that people are going to rush out and buy, because somebody's going to rush out and buy Paws of Fury because Woolly Strike Back wasn't all that good, and people didn't rush out and buy that one. If you wanted to make money and say, hey, let's bring back something that people are going to go nuts for. Half-Life 3. People would go berserk if you tried to reboot Half-Life 3. Obviously, that is a whole different kind of game. But as far as just making money, you would do it. Here you go, Rocky Bear, you got it right on the head. If you really wanted to go out there and make some money with a similar type of game, you go out there and you make another Earthworm Jim. You make Earthworm Jim 3. Legit 3, or I think he didn't have a 3, right? There was the 3D game, but I don't know if that counted as 3 or not. You make an Earthworm Jim. I thought there was an Earthworm Jim 3D. I may be wrong on that. You come out and you say, hey, we're developing a new Earthworm Jim game. People would lose their minds. It was on the N64. Okay, I knew there was one. It rolled off the tongue way too easily. You're talking about a game that has gone the wayside. Everybody knows of it and remembers it, but nobody talks about it anymore. And was actually a good game. Hard as balls. I don't know why people don't talk about that as much, but I found the Earthworm Jim games to be incredibly difficult. But they are well remembered. Regardless of that, that's the thing. With Bubsy, Bubsy's not well remembered. Bubsy is remembered. Bubsy is infamous, but Bubsy's not well remembered. It's not. You don't say, "Oh my God, Bubsy, man, we used to play that all night. It was so awesome." You say, "Oh my God, that game was terrible. We played it all night because it was horrible." When people talk about Earthworm Jim, they say, "Hey, that was awesome, man. We run around and it was funny and had great humor." You tell people you're making another one of those, and people will go berserk in a good, positive way. So I'm tired of this. I'm tired of Bubsy and other franchises that may be like that get this attention when they clearly don't. Or some of them maybe need to take a break. Yeah, Sonic Team. Okay. So that's I have talked about that before, so I didn't want to get too into that. but I always get heated. I feel like memes hold way too much importance. I've seen people play Mega Man X4 just to see the bad zero cutscene, ignoring the fact that it's a really good game with bad cutscenes. Toe Jam and Earl are coming back. I thought they were back. I thought they had a game. Did we ever get Klonoa 3? We never got Klonoa 3. Yeah, I know we got the GBA game. Yeah, where's Klonoa 3? Shantae came back. We had Shantae was a good Game Boy game. It came out of nowhere when it was revitalized, and it turned out to be great. God, I would love a Klonoa 3. Hey, Mr. Sonic, I would also love to see Klonoa in Smash Brothers. I think that would be of the 5 new characters. Because what is it? It's Piranha Plant, Joker. No, Piranha Plant wasn't one of the 5. Piranha Plant Piranha Plant wasn't one of the 5 extra characters, right? It was Joker, and now they're saying it's possibly Erdrick from Dragon Quest, that he may be the next DLC character. So that's 2. He was just the early adopted bonus. He was not one of the 5 extra characters. The 5th extra character, there you go, give me Klonoa. Give me Klonoa. We got Joker. We got still something Klonoa wasn't? I'm guessing wasn't. Well, we're all surprised that a lot of things happened with the PS Classic. We're kind of surprised. Rocket Knight and Gunstar. Rocket Knight and Gunstar would be great. They would be great, fantastic additions to revitalization. But no, we get more Bubsy. But yeah, so but it's Joker, and then it's Erdrick, and then what's it called? Banjo-Kazooie, and then Master Chief, and then Klonoa. There you go. Those are the five characters for did Wild Guns ever get a part 2? No, Wild Guns never got a part 2, but it did get a reboot, remake from I think Limited Run Games did it. It was on the PS4. It was also on the Switch. I have the Switch version. It's a very good game. That's actually a very, very good game. It wasn't. Stupid spell check. Sparkster. I don't know that I played it on the SNES Classic, Sparkster. I never played an actual physical copy of that game. I don't know that I've ever even seen a real, legit physical copy of that game. All right, so the other thing with this Bubsy nonsense, and this is something that I didn't know about until recently. So there's I thought Wild Arms got sequels. So there's a Kickstarter for Sparkster is the name of the possum in Rocket Knight Adventures. Yes, but there was also a game called Sparkster, which was the Super Nintendo version of Rocket Knight Adventures, or it was a sequel or something. Oh, Rocket Knight did get a game in 2010. Did it really? Ooh, Mystical Ninja Goemon. So there's a Kickstarter campaign for this Bubsy game, and I thought when I saw it in passing, and thought, hey, okay, so they're doing a Kickstarter for the new Bubsy game. Hopefully they don't bother with it. Like, hopefully nobody puts any money towards it. The Kickstarter is actually not for the game. The game is coming out no matter what. Apparently the Kickstarter is for the DLC, so that they can, I think it says on the thing, so that we can keep the lights on to keep making more content for it. And I'm not entirely sure that if you pay for a certain tier, that you'll get the DLC content. I can't be entirely sure. Let me open it up here. I was about to type in Kickstarter Rocket Knight Adventure. So let's see. Okay, so this is I have the Kickstarter campaign open. did they release it? Was it a new Rocket Knight game? All right, so let's see. So the Kickstarter has $10,090 of the $25,000 goal. Let's see here. Okay, that's something else. So I'm looking at the pledges right here. Apparently, if you pledge $10, you'll get the Woolly Strike back. So they're basically just giving it away. So when you pledge at least $20, you get a copy of the game, and then from there on, you'll get more stuff. Soundtrack, a bunch of nonsense. Looks like you'll get Bit Trip Runner, and like if you buy it, you'll get extra games, which is interesting enough. Complete Runner tier. All right. So yeah, it. Sally. I always thought the Rocket Knight was the not Sonic game before Freedom. No. Rocket Knight was definitely its own thing. He had his own control style and whatnot. What's that? Hey guys, join the Kickstarter to make a bowl of mashed potatoes. Well, what? Yeah, what was Cyber? Wasn't that the one goal from years ago? Like the guy wanted to make mashed potatoes, so he started a Kickstarter and he raised a bunch of money for it. Master Chief with the Finish the Fight trailer, absolutely. De Niro, what's going on? How much do I have to pledge to stop it from existing? 0. 0 is the pledge amount to make it stop. Potato salad is what it was. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very confused by this Kickstarter. So the Kickstarter is for them to make DLC. And there's a line here that says the DLC may be sold later. I'm not entirely sure. So if you meet the Kickstarter, if you back the Kickstarter and you get one of the pledges that comes with a copy of the game, will you get whatever DLC they make? Or are you kickstarting to make the DLC and then you would have to buy it later? It's actually not super clear on that. It seems to use wolves as enemies instead of pigs. Yeah, if you guys take a look at the Kickstarter, I'm not entirely sure because it says that the DLC may be sold later. And what I'm thinking is just that if you get the game through the Kickstarter, you'll get the DLC. But if you buy the game after the Kickstarter, like you buy a retail or something, then you would have to pay for the DLC later. That's sort of what I'm getting from it, but at the same time, it kind of sounds like if I buy a Kickstarter tier that includes the game, because the first couple of tiers you won't get Paws of Fire with it. I'm not sure because it doesn't actually specify that you're going to get all the DLC that is eventually created for it. But I don't know if maybe that's just assumed or not. We never got our 3DS and PS Vita ports of Mighty Number 9. Cyber, some people barely even got their copies of Mighty Number 9, the game. I know people that were months after the game came out and never got their Kickstarter or whatever it was, GoFundMe. I think it was Kickstarter, right? Never got their game that bought it. They just went out and they bought another copy of it and never got their version of the game from the Kickstarter. Which is, I mean, that's bad business practice, and that's, so if I don't know how much that happened, but it shouldn't be happening at all. Later, Cyber the Wolf, have a good one. Thank you so much for stopping in. Thank you for the bits. I remember hearing that this Bubsy game actually looked pretty good, but I saw the trailer. Still, what's good for Bubsy? Playable? It's Bubsy. How much is the game itself being sold for on the Kickstarter? You have to pledge at least $20. $20 there are different $20 pledge. Oh no, there's one $20 pledge and a $25 pledge. No, there's two $20 pledges. Okay. There are three $20 pledges for the different systems. There's one for Steam, one for PS4, one for the Switch. But it's the $20 tier that you have to pay minimum in order to get a copy of the game. Because the $2 tier will give you, let me see here, the Bubsy twofer, which is a copy of Bubsy 1 and 2 on Steam. So at that point, you'd be better off keeping your $2. The $10 pledge is Bubsy the Woolly Strike Back. And then you always get the tier above. I believe if you get the $10 tier, you also get the stuff from the $2 tier. I think it actually doesn't say that. This actually doesn't say that. Hold on. That's normally the... No, okay, you don't. If you buy the $10, you get Woolly Strike Back and a thank you email, which I really don't care about. And then that's it. And then you get a Steam copy for that. Then $20 is Bubsy Paws on Fire for the different systems. And then $25 is Bubsy Paws on Fire digital OST map. You also get the Woolly Strike Back and Bubsy twofer. Okay. Yeah, so $20 is the minimum. A thank you email. That's because you know it's gonna be an automated email. Kickstarter campaigning of video games are slow and it never gets all the regard. And zeros, and that's even the worst part. This isn't even for the game. The Kickstarter is for DLC. It's for them to make DLC, which I guess is kind of interesting. It's like I'm not entirely, and that's the thing, I'm not entirely against this, because if you don't care at all about the DLC, if you don't care about any extra costumes or anything like that, you don't care about a digital soundtrack and all of this other stuff, don't pay attention to it at all. You're still going to get a release of the game. What they're DLCing is, what they're kickstarting is extra content, which is not bad. That's actually kind of interesting. My biggest problem is just that it doesn't necessarily specifically say that if you back all of this, you're going to get that DLC, because they're going to sell it separately later. So I'm not sure if it's included with your game or not. Autumn Clearwater, thank you so much for inviting me to the host club. And welcome, of course. Also have a friend still waiting for the 3DS version. I played the Wii U version and thought this is super average and buggy. Very buggy. It's sad when a franchise is so terrible that man, yeah, exactly. That's why people are like, oh, this one, Reform, we started at 3 o'clock. We started at 3 o'clock like always, unless I specify otherwise on Twitter. Yeah, it's a terrible thing for a franchise that says, oh, it's okay, and that's a good thing for it, because your expectations were so low that average is great. Our biggest problem is it exists. But I guess someone out there will enjoy it. Spark 1048, thank you so much for the sub. 13 months in a row. Thank you so much for that. I absolutely appreciate it. Still boggles my mind that you're paying for this. Pancakes or waffles? Pancakes. I will choose pancakes every time. I other than putting chocolate chips into them, waffles always just seem to be waffles. Pancakes, I can have, I make mine with egg whites and vanilla extract, but you can have chocolate chips. You can have fruit and nuts mixed into the pancakes. I love cinnamon sugar pancakes. I've had chocolate pancakes before. There's so much great things you can do with pancakes that nobody ever does with waffles. And I don't know. The only thing I like about waffles, I like that all the little holes hold syrup, so that I have to fill each one of those little holes with syrup. but then that way it's like fresh syrup with every bite. I love that. I cut a piece off and then I try and put it in my mouth so that it doesn't tilt over, so that I keep all the syrup in the little waffle cups. Just get down. Oh yeah, sorry about that, Reform. I meant to put it on Twitter, and I usually remember to put it on Twitter, but I didn't. Tired of shit here. Busy week, just TGI. Yeah, Autumn. It was not a fantastic week. So it was very, very TGIF. So BSC Ted. There are good and bad ways to advertise and release DLC. Smash Ultimate DLC is not advertised the best. However, you can at least still be. I see. Here's the thing. I don't know how much you have to advertise DLC. If in order to sell a game, you need to tell people, oh, we've got new stories, we've got extra content coming out soon. Maybe that's stuff that should have went into the beginning of the game. DLC should feel like extra, not like something that I need to know is coming in order for me to buy it. That's my biggest problem. If Smash Brothers released no extra characters after Piranha Plant, if there was no prospect of these 5 extra characters coming out and probably more characters down the line, you would still have 70 something characters, 71 characters or something. There should be no problem selling a game based on that kind of a roster. So anything after that should feel extra. If in order to sell your fighting game, you need to tell people, hey, we've got 10 characters, but don't worry, 20 more are going to be on the way. Maybe that's not the right. You're not going to get people to buy the game first. What you're going to get people to do is say, okay, well, I'll wait for those 20 characters to come out, and then I'll buy the full version of the game. Which goes back to last week's discussion. It goes back to the whole Anthem joke, where with all of these goofy release day, the whole Anthem thing where the release time is based on which version you buy and what system you buy it for. The best way to play, and they released a chart that says like the ways to play Anthem. And I said the best way to play Anthem is to just wait until all the release dates come out and buy it a year later when all the DLC comes out, because that's what's going to happen. It happened with Titanfall, where they released a single player campaign later. Then why I don't know what you're trying to get me to buy in the beginning. If you're going to release some stuff later and you are counting on that to sell copies of the game, release it at first. Good thing I just camp out here an hour early. Yeah, I get people that you just don't leave. Just sit in the stream the whole time. Let's just say I hate private school. They act like stereotypical schoolgirl with the oh boy. Please no more SE characters. What's SE? You mean FE and the Fire Emblem characters? Because I could deal with no more Fire Emblem characters, and I think Fire Emblem's kind of great. I appreciate what Fire Emblem is, but it's not. Square Enix characters. Oh no, you see Anthem Hero. Welcome Anthem Hero, by the way. See, I'll take one more Square Enix character, one more, because one of the characters that I wanted was Tifa from Final Fantasy VII. I will absolutely take Tifa. I would love to see a non-sword using brawler character. So I'd be totally fine with that. And I still call them Squaresoft. I love you, Squaresoft. That's back when they were amazing. Now they're just, kind of good. Lemon cookies. Ooh, lemon cookies. I do love lemon cookies. I like lemon more than I know. Lemon's one of those flavors that I'm kind of like, it's lemon. It's lemon. But what I like, lemon cookies, lemon cake. Oh my God, I make lemon cake with lemon frosting. Pfft, unbelievable. Black Mage, please. Oh, Elements, I wouldn't mind that. A generic Black Mage, not Vivi, just a generic Black Mage character. That would be kind of cool. We need a spear-wielding Fire Emblem character. Only if it's Donald with his with the pot on his head. DLC should be extras. Would be cool, not needed, not an entire chunk. If the storyline continues off in the DLC, it's not DLC. You're hiding the rest of the game behind a paywall. If you're counting on the extra characters that the DLC provides in order to be a selling point for the game, you're hiding those characters behind a paywall. Tifa versus Incineroar suplex battle. Oh my god, that would be amazing. Isn't Corrin a spear wielder? Is Corrin a spear wielder? Oh god, I'm not even gonna try and keep saying that one. Fox with DLC for entire chunks of the game. Hey, now you make you add like another Fox from a different version of Fox. Oh, Crystal. Bring Crystal from the Star Fox. Was that her name? Crystal, the blue foxy girl. Bring her, but then she doesn't have any fur. Her fur texture is DLC that they kickstart. Sora count as a sword wielder. Crystal Fox. There you go. Yeah, bring Crystal in, but then she's just plain, and then her fur texture is DLC. Sora would count as a sword wielder, a weapon wielding character in that sense, a bladed weapon wielding character in that sense. Are Keyblades sharp? I don't actually know. But yeah, I mean, we can make I guess Keyblades can be sharp. I mean, you do key people's cars, so I think if you get your car keyed at Disney World, I guess that's supposed to be a Kingdom Hearts reference. But they can be as sharp as we want them to be, and you know why? Because this is
the land of make-believe.
Buy the DLC and get our fur text engine. But yeah, I think the idea of kickstarting downloadable content, it's interesting. An Eastern indie character, Toho's removed. Interesting. I know of Toho. I think is how you say it, Toho. But I'm not familiar with the characters enough. Liu Kang for Smash. Oh boy. But yeah, I'm not totally against the idea of starting a Kickstarter for DLC. Like I said, it's kind of like running a DLC, a Kickstarter for a game, and then making DLC stretch goals, but just skipping past the first goal of the game actually being made. Scorpion for Smash. Now we're talking. I wouldn't mind seeing a Mortal Kombat character. That would be very interesting. But yeah, that's exactly what it's like to me. The idea of kickstarting DLC is like a Kickstarter for a video game with DLC stretch goals, but you're just skipping the first goal of the actual game being made. So that's fine. And like I said, if you don't care about DLC, don't support the Kickstarter. But if you do, if you want to buy that stuff, then you say, oh, that in-game soundtrack, in-game voice. One of the things I miss the most is in-game, like the sound effects player, so you can listen to all the sound effects for the games. I love that stuff, and I haven't seen that in a while. So I wouldn't mind doing a DLC Kickstarter for that stuff, But then if you really don't care, then you just don't support it. Scrubification, what is going on? Hello. Let's please all sides of the fan base. Anthem. One thing that I have realized in my life is that it's difficult to please all sides. You can please the back and then reach around and try and please the front, but sometimes it's very difficult. Mega Man collections have a music player. Yeah, see, I love the music player, but I also miss the sound effect players. I used to love the sound effects players where you could just hit the button and pew pew pew. Like I like that stuff, especially now with
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
Scrubification. Thank you so much for the follow. It sounds to me like that last bit of humor is what turned the tide for you. Scrubification. You would have to ask for permission to send links. We usually don't do much self promotion here. If you want, I'll tell you where you can. Scrubification. If you want, I'll tell you what you can do. Let me see something here. Hold on. Do I have? I don't have it. If you would like, join our Discord. Let me actually give you a. Hold on a second here. If you want to join our Discord actually has a tab for self-promotion, so that we check that stuff out just so we can see who's streaming, who's doing what. Lady Foxheart, that's a different chat app. That's something completely different, and I think it's DICK cord. But yeah, that is, we have a tab just for that, just so that everybody can share what's going on. Thick court. Oh. But yeah, I think. Oh, I mean, the ultimate thought there is that I would be okay with X outfit for the X outfit for the Mii Gunner. Okay. Can I put a link in the Discord? I think Discord allows links. I don't think we disabled any links in Discord. But yeah, final word on that is that I think that DLC Kickstarters are fine. I like it as an idea. My only problem is I'm not entirely sure that if you support the Kickstarter, you're going to get the DLC. And that's a problem for me. Alrighty. So, on to the next topic, which I thought I had a picture for. Oh, crappers. Yes I do. Hold on. And I'm gonna need your guys. I'm gonna need everybody's help with here. Gents and lady gents. Where the hell is my picture that I had saved for this? There it is. Oh, no. I like having this this picture thing here. All right. Yeah, Mr. Extra Smash. Oh God, Mr. Extra Smash. That'd be great. Discord is an actual oh my God, is it really? Autumn? I was totally making a joke. Is that really a thing? That's okay, I mean it's a little bit hilarious, but so you're going to be able to access Xbox Live from the Switch. There we go. This is hey, Random Smitty. Greg, abort the mission. This is interesting, sort of. So the idea is that you'll be able to access your trophies and everything. I think the biggest draw to this is already in effect, which is that you'll be able to crossplay. I would only recommend it. Oh, okay. You never know. There might be something on there that I like to see. Oh, Xbox Live being on the Switch is a chance for us to finally get Banjo back. This is me to get achievements in Switch games. Now, if Sony would stop being stingy and join the party. Hold on. I have a Anthem. You want Sony to join the party? Hold on. I've got a picture for that too. And no, that didn't pop up. Hold on. I got a picture for it. Yeah. So this is Sony's answer to Survive Together. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. I can't do both of them at once. I'll need to figure out how to do that. If I didn't make the video, I want to put. Yeah, you go ahead. That's fine. So here's my biggest, my weirdest sort of issue with this. I'm not entirely sure what this means. The biggest draw that we've seen from this, and we're already seeing it, is cross-play, cross-compatibility with games. Rocket League, Fortnite we've seen, but although Fortnite's cross-compatibility is more of it's more of Microsoft and Nintendo getting out of Epic's way. Because the games should be cross-compatible through Epic, but Sony was the ones that were being douches about it, but they're not being that way anymore because they know that people were giving them flack for it. But the biggest draw I'm seeing in this is confirming that they're going to be a rep from. Oh yeah. The biggest draw seems to be that you're going to be cross compatibility. I'm not sure what else it means. Am I going to be able to log into the Xbox store from my Switch and buy other than games that might be locked? Oh yeah, Minecraft was also the big crossplay thing. Am I going to be able to buy games from the Xbox Live store and then play them on my Switch? Obviously, you're not going to be playing Halo anytime soon, but will the Xbox Live store basically function as an online games store? I think you can transfer servers from Minecraft on PC, Xbox to the Switch version. Yeah, I'm just not entirely sure. I know what it means for down the road, and I'll discuss what I think it means for down the road. But what I mean as far as immediately, I'm not entirely sure, because yeah, you won't be able to buy Xbox games with it, because they're saying like, oh well, I can earn Xbox achievements on the Switch. I heard somebody say that, and I'm thinking, but what games? I don't understand. It's not like you're going to be buying Halo games and playing them on the Switch. So what games are you? If I play Rocket League and I do something in Rocket League on the Switch that I would get an achievement for on the Xbox, does that mean I'm going to get that achievement on the Xbox? Am I going to be playing Switch and a notification is going to pop up that I got the Xbox achievement of play Rocket League? I'm just not I'm not entirely sure what it means immediately. I know what it can mean later. What I think it could mean later is like somebody, like Arwing said, I have said this before too. I said this after the Game Awards, I think it was, or the E3, where the three guys were up on stage. It was Reggie, and then I think it was Spence, and then Sony guy. I'll be upset if they up the cost. I don't think they'll do that. I don't think they'll up the cost of crossplay games. I think that for certain games, especially like Rocket League, I think that you're getting something unique with each version of the game, so they don't need to up it. You know, with Rocket League, you're getting a better graphics and FPS quality on the Xbox because it's a higher powered system, but you're getting the portability on the Switch. So each one has its own thing that you would go for. At a premium price to encourage you to buy an Xbox, or maybe it's a subscription download only. Imagine Mario Kart or Smash Brothers achievement. Yeah, I'm very confused as to what it means immediately. But yeah, when we saw, like I said, it was either E3 or the Game Awards where the three guys were on stage. I honestly thought that was that was an indication that these companies are going to start working together. Now, I have talked before plenty of times about my thoughts of what Microsoft should be doing with the Xbox, that they should turn the Xbox into PC console hybrid and market it as such. If they were to do that, you would then have the ability to turn the Xbox Live store into a retail store. Epic just has their retail store now, which they're a whole bunch of controversy because they're hoarding games apparently. Steam has their retail store. You could easily turn the Xbox Live into a retail store where you can access it from your Xbox PC, which if you don't know what that is, we can check out some older episodes and we'll explain it, or you can just ask me and I'll explain it again. Or your Switch or your PS4 or PS5, which it'll be down the road. Download games from there, but then Microsoft can say, okay, you can download games from the Microsoft Xbox Live store, except for these games. These games will be labeled Xbox exclusive, and you have to have an Xbox PC/console. Now I'm out of sync. Okay. No. Deactivate. And give it a second. And reactivate. No. Reactivate. Activate. There we go. A Microsoft developed Mario game. Yeah, I believe that that's a good way for them to go, because I've argued for a little while that Microsoft probably needs to. This is a good opportunity for Microsoft to duck out of the console only market and shift their system into a PC console hybrid. In doing so, you would have an opportunity to open up your shop, since your new system would effectively just be a computer. You would have an opportunity to open up your shop to the two other consoles that are out there and say, well, you can buy games from us. You can buy indie games from us that are developed in-house or developed through third-party companies, and you can buy them through the Xbox store. But if you want certain specific titles, you would need an Xbox PC. You know, this is a good opportunity for them to do that. And if that was ever going to happen, this is the beginnings of it. This is what it would look like in the beginning, where Microsoft is working with the other two companies and saying, why don't we help each other out? I will open up my shop to you guys. That's what I think. They'll start off small with just cross-play, possibly achievements later on down the road to start introducing the Microsoft Store games to play on the Switch. I think it's what you said as I was typing. Yeah, I honestly think that that's a good thing for them to do. And that way your achievements, because I know Nintendo, for instance, doesn't have achievements. Sony has their trophies, but Nintendo really doesn't have anything like that. So why not have those things accessible through a Microsoft account? What does this mean for Sony? Should they worry or try to take advantage? Rocky, in all seriousness, I think there's no way for them to take advantage. I think that anything they do to try and get the upper hand is going to look more like they refuse to play nice and they're being petty about it. I think this is a good opportunity for them to work with Microsoft at this point, because if this turns into a Microsoft store that sells to people on the other two systems, Sony is probably within their right, very well so, to say, no, we have our own store, we're not going to do that. But at this point, with the cross compatibility for gaming and such, this is a time when they really do need to work with each other. They need to see how far this can go. We have the opportunity to develop I say we like I work for any one of these companies. There's an opportunity here to develop gaming into a large singular ecosystem with smaller sections. Because right now what we have are 4 large ecosystems. We have the PC universe, We have the Xbox Cinematic Universe, which not as many people are watching as the others, and the Nintendo Universe and the PlayStation Sony Universe. They all exist separate from each other. There is an opportunity here to have them work with each other, and that's great. And I think that that's something that's important, because realistically, we don't know where any of this is going, and we never know where any of this is going. With the changes in technology changes all the time. It moves forward. As computers were always this sort of later, De Niro, have a good one. Computers were always this sort of other universe. There was console gaming, and then there was computers. That was always this inaccessible universe, even though console games or computers had the ability to slowly but surely to give us a better experience than console games. Computers are stronger for PC gaming. They are more upgradable, faster. Everything about gaming on a computer should be better than consoles, but consoles still survive because of convenience and ease. But that's slowly going away. Stronger computers are cheaper than they ever were. It's for the price of a PS4, you could probably build a computer that runs games at just a similar quality. So you're getting to this point where the accessibility of computer gaming is closer than it's ever been. That's going to create a big fight. That's going to create a big ugly battle. So why not take an opportunity for everybody to start working together so that everybody gets a decent slice of the pie? That's what's happening. And if Sony resists that, they're going to get screwed. They're going to get left in the dust. I prefer them to stay separate. Yeah, I think that I don't know that they need to say. Now here's the thing, Rocky Bear. I'm not saying that all games need to be available on all systems. Nintendo's still going to have Mario Kart and Mario and Zelda and Metroid. Sony's still going to have whatever Sony has. Microsoft is still going to have Halo and not do anything with it. And PC gaming gets everything for the most part, well, except Nintendo stuff. But what they get is usually so much stronger. You can get Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 2 remake on multiple systems. But if you get it on PC and you've got a decent PC, you're going to have probably at the very least a better looking experience. So there was, that's why PC's it has its own advantages. But yeah, they're always going to have things that the other ones don't have. So I'm okay with that. A computer is something almost everyone had. Pretty much everyone had. Anybody who's watching this has a computer, pretty much. Make more sense to upgrade their PC rather than to buy an entire console for the sole purpose of playing games, unless you really want to play console exclusive. Yeah, and that's the only thing. Phoenix, other than Sony console exclusives, I've argued for a while that all you really, really need for modern gaming is a decent computer and whatever system Nintendo has out. Because the only thing you're missing you're missing stuff like Mario Kart and Zelda by not having Nintendo, which you're not even doing that anymore because now there are emulators and such. But there's emulators even for the newest stuff. But that's all you need, because I feel like the console exclusives for Sony just haven't been there in the last decade. And for Microsoft, it was Halo stuff, which I believe was coming out on a PC. So that was all you ever needed. The thing with computer gaming was that, like I said, it always seems so inaccessible. You mentioned, God of War, I guess. Yes, God of War. Well, God of War 4. I was never a fan of the other games, but God of War 4 was actually pretty cool. And like you said, Phoenix, like you said, it would make more sense to upgrade their PC. That has always looked for the average consumer like such a daunting task to go and buy these components. And I don't know, there's just so many things. There's so many different kinds of components. Which one am I supposed to get? It seems like it's all going to break. I always hear nightmare horror stories about computers that are overheating, and you buy this part and that part breaks. And it always seemed so daunting for the average consumer to do. But that's changing now. Slowly but surely, laptops are getting stronger, and they're all-in-ones. You don't have to buy anything else except the laptop. Even computers themselves. I'm saving up to build a computer myself. I never thought for a second that I would have the ability to do something like that. But when you start to see it done, you realize, oh, it's actually not that complicated. And now it's, like I said, if you're willing to buy slightly older parts, and especially if you're willing to buy used parts, you can build a decent system for $300-400. You can build a system that runs 1080p, 60 frames per second games just as well, if not better, than some of the consoles. God of War, Sly Cooper. I like Sly, but I'm not a giant fan of it. Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter. They're Sony exclusives. Okay. But yeah, they haven't done much with them. And let's be honest, they're not system sellers. No one's going to run out and buy the PS5 because Jak and Daxter was a release title. That's the biggest issue with some of those. God of War? Yeah, absolutely. If you say God of War 5 is going to be a PS5 exclusive release date game, people will run out and they'll buy a system to buy the new God of War game. I just don't really think they're going to do that for Sly Cooper, for Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter. I'm weird that it's not Sly and Cooper. They need to be, that way they fit in. So it's Sly and Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter. I'm going to building a custom PC, and it's going to be built with older consoles built in. Oh, I love that idea. I always love that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just back to the Survive Together Xbox on the Switch. I'm just not entirely sure what it means. It's nice to hear them working together, and I feel like it means that down the line we're going to see something extremely discussion worthy. But for right now, I don't know what earn Xbox achievements on your Switch means for other than Rocket League and Minecraft. At this moment, like I said, it most likely means that later on there's going to be more of this. But for right this second, I really am not entirely sure what it means. Okay. So okay, Autumn. Let's read what you wrote there. I like the butt. I like the butt fuck. I want you to I want you to make sure that you saw that you wrote that. Those were originally Nintendo. Ace Fox, at this point, it doesn't mean anything. That's exactly my point. It doesn't actually mean anything. It doesn't mean that starting tomorrow you can play Banjo and Conquer on your Nintendo. It doesn't mean any of that. The immediate function of all of this is lost to me. It just means that later, it probably means something else is going on. All right. Let me see if I actually have. I don't actually have I need a viewer topics picture. So yeah. So this is. I mean, I like butts. So this is welcome to the viewer topic portion of the show. This is the portion of the show where I've run out of things to talk about, so I let you tell me what to talk about. If you have any topics that you want to discuss, any questions that you want to ask, no question too big or too small. Well, there might be some questions too big. What? Yeah, I'm not paying that money for butt. Well, I don't know. But yeah, if you have anything you guys want to discuss, like I said, questions to ask, you go right ahead. If you do not, that's totally fine too. It just probably means that we'll end the show a little early. The U.S. used to be a boob nation. Now it's an now. See the Ace Fox. I can tell you why that started. I can tell you why that's true. Let me tell you why. You ready? You ready? Because in the old days, we were sitting down, but now we're standing up for what we believe in. And when people stand up, we can see their asses. You're not a licensed. Hey, Aqua Sakura. Licensed video games based on movies and the like is all gone. It just kind of happened. Where did they go before? Yeah, I don't know. I think that companies finally started to realize, because every once in a while, I remember the last few. PS2 was probably the last time I started seeing licensed movie games. If anybody knows of any on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, tell me now. Yeah, PS2 is probably the last time that I remember seeing licensed games from movies and not even TV shows, but other than cartoons, because I think some cartoons and kids stuff we still get versions of it. You know, we were getting Ice Age games and stuff like that. I think the problem is simply that people finally realize that they're not good. It takes too much effort to make a game alongside a movie that works. The problem is that movies and TV shows are a different kind of experience. They are an experience meant for you to watch and not interact. They're not written for you to interact. You know, when this guy goes from here to there, it's not designed with him fighting a bunch of enemies along the way. So you have to include that stuff. The game has to include all of that stuff that is almost feels like filler. So it often tends to be translated very poorly to video games. You can't. There are certain segments that work. You know, when you watch, there's a terrible Independence Day game for the PlayStation 1. But Independence Day, you're fighting aliens. And there are a few scenes in the movie where that's what you're doing. They're flying around and they're fighting the aliens and stuff. But they're not like ground assaulting aliens. There's not a whole bunch of flying battles and stuff. So you're forced to jam a bunch of nonsense into the games, and it never works. It almost never works. What older movie would you like to see a sequel or a remake of? The movie Big, from the Tom Hanks movie from 80s, late 80s. I think I would like to see a remake of that. I think that the concept is fantastic, and I know the concept has been done in one form or another, different ways. There was another movie that came out with Fred Savage and Judge Reinhold called Vice Versa. That's another movie. There was a movie called Freaky Friday with what the hell is her name? Jane something. Oh my god, I can't remember her name. The Queen of Scream or whatever they used to call her. Jamie Lee Curtis. which is like the mother and daughter in that movie. I think it was Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. The mother and daughter switch bodies. That was there was a Judge Reinhold and Fred Savage movie called Vice Versa, which is where they did that. That might be an interesting remake. But me personally, yeah, I would say, it's 13 going on 30. That was the other one that was kind of like big. But yeah, I think a higher quality new movie for Big. I think I would like to see a remake of that. There's another movie, an older movie, that I always thought would have been really, really good. And I don't know, I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember. And it was older. Bullet, the Steve McQueen movie with Bullet has actually one of the most infamous car chase scenes ever in a movie, and I think Bullet would be a pretty cool time. I think it would be a cool time to remake something like that. With one thing that I love that I feel in a way has gone the wayside is older heroes. I like the idea of Bullet being redone with, because you know what'll happen. It'll be like a 20-something guy, and I don't want that. I want it to be like a 45, 50-year-old hero, stuff like Taken. And everybody, Brian Miller, which is Liam Neeson's character in Taken, he kicks ass. So it's not like it doesn't work. So I think Bullet would be a pretty cool remake. And I think it would spawn, if it was very popular, I think it would spawn more Steve McQueen movies being made, which I don't know how many of them probably deserve to be remade. But Bullet was a classic. Speaking of national anthems, ours doesn't mention our country at all. Phoenix, the U.S. national anthem. I think the U.S. national anthem is supposed to be about weathering the storm through the war, through the battle, which I really think probably needs to be readjusted. But let's see here. I'm going through the things here. What do you mean stand up? Physically, yes, standing up, standing up for your convictions and out of your chair. How do you feel about the release dates of Luigi's Mansion 3 and Animal Crossing being supposedly leaked? John, I consider that as a topic for today. I know they are rumors. The rumor that I'm hearing is Animal Crossing in September. Luigi's Mansion was, because there was another one too. There was it was Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion, which I think the speculation for Luigi's Mansion was July, and I don't remember what the other game was. I try not to put too much stock into rumored release dates, but I did want to talk about those. Which is why I didn't pick them as a topic, but I had considered it because I like the Animal Crossing release date. I think that Animal Crossing works well as a September release because a lot of the fan base for Animal Crossing, are not kids. There are plenty of kids that play Animal Crossing, I'm sure. But most of the people that I have talked to that have been very dedicated to Animal Crossing are older. They are out of school age at least. So it makes sense that when kids go back to school, adults have this game that they like to play, and it just gets released. If I were a parent, I would spend large chunks of time playing Animal Crossing when my kids weren't around. So it would make sense to me at the beginning of September when kids go back to school to release a game that is very widely played by adult audiences. It's the same reason that you put trash TV in the mornings, because the people that are at home watching it, that's who they are. They are the parents that want to shut their brain off while their kids go to school. So I like the idea of Animal Crossing being released then. The Luigi's Mansion date I really don't care about, just because, I guess it's a good date. It's the summertime. A lot of people will have some extra time to play it. but Luigi mentioned after playing the first one, I just oh, and I'm gonna jump ahead real quick here. Phoenix Storm. Yes, I did see that 3,500 hours of Animal Crossing New Leaf that she played. And she was like 70 something, 80 something. Hang on. Going back and looking through 360. Does anyone believe every leak is planned to get out? Yeah, I see what you mean. If you could have a game based on any anime, what would it be and what kind of game would it be? So that's always pretty cool. What kind of game would it be? Obviously, My Hero Academia with a fighting game aspect to it. If I had to pick an older anime, I would absolutely want to play, chock full of humor, a Tenchi universe RPG. If you want to do anime, older anime RPG, give me Tenchi. I'll take the Tenchi universe as an RPG. Dragon Ball real time strategy. Oh, you know what? Not Phoenix, not Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball. Yeah, that's interesting. Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis was a remake of a movie from the 70s and 80s with the same name. Okay, so that was a remake of that. But that's what the movie Vice Versa was based off. I guess that was based off of it too. The idea that they switch bodies somehow. But yeah, I think a Tenchi universe role playing game would be very interesting. If for anybody that watched Tenchi, it was a lot of humor. But there was also this story of, because a couple of the characters, they came from space, and the idea was that the Tenchi's father was originally from space but came to Earth, and then like it was his father or his grandfather or his great grandfather, or just an ancestor basically. But they had come to Earth from this other planet, so that is his heritage. His family line traces back to space, and people start showing up, and it's almost like a harem anime in a way, where it's Tenchi is the guy, and then there's a lot of female characters. But I think it would work. It was Tenchi's grandfather. Yeah, so I think there is, in the Tenchi universe, I think there is the premise for a space sci-fi combat battle RPG. I think it's there. And it's got to be chock full of humor. It's got to be chock full of humor. I mean, you've got multiple characters, which is like any anime has multiple characters. In that same sense, I'll tell you another game that I would take. Devil is a Part-Timer as an RPG. I would take Devil as a Part-Timer as an RPG, where Sadao has to go back through the portal, and he needs to deal with something on the other side to help benefit everybody else. But then while he's over there, he teaches them about fast food, and they end up opening what effectively is a fast food restaurant over in the other universe. Oh, and then you can run the fast food restaurant, and that becomes, it's like a little sim mini game. Oh my god. Yu-Gi-Oh! Survival Horror. My wife's buying Girl Scout cookies, and I can't have any. Yeah, I already had some of those. I don't buy Girl Scout cookies too much now, just because they got expensive. They have gotten expensive while the cookies have gotten smaller. And excuse me, Girl Scouts, for anybody that happens from the Girl Scouts to see this, could you explain to me why the package is this long, and it has always been this long, but now there are only this many cookies inside? I had space for about 4 more cookies that was not in there. That's not okay. She responds that re-erased game, kind of like I'm not familiar with re-erased. I'm gonna head out later. Lady Foxheart, have a good one. Enjoy. Hopefully I'll see you tonight. I'm probably gonna be game streaming tonight, so we'll see what happens. What I'm going to stream and how long I'm going to stream, I honestly have no idea. So if anybody's got any suggestions, you go for it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Getter Robo Tactical RPG. Well, you know. Oh no, here. Okay, I got a cool game for you. Here's a cool idea for a game. They released a game called PC Builder where you build a PC. It's supposed to take you through the steps of actually building a computer, and I think you run a PC shop. You run a computer shop in the game. How about retro game builder, something like that, where it's sort of like the PC Builder game, but you work on retro video game systems. You open them up, you see what the insides look like, but they are later, Mr. Sonic. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping in. When you open them up, they are the actual insides of those systems. You contact the companies and you get licensing on to show the insides of the systems, and you work on retro game. You work a retro game store. You do retro game system repairs. I think that would be kind of cool. I mean, it'd be like a laugh, but it'd be fun. $10, $20 game. Thoughts on the Dragon Ball card game RPG coming out for the Switch? I saw that there's a Dragon Ball RPG. Is that the Project Z? What did I see? Something for a Dragon Ball RPG that was it was for Dragon Ball Z. I think it was Project Z, but I didn't know it was a card game. That's interesting. A JoJo game made by the Yakuza. Just give me the old JoJo arcade game. Open up a Sega Genesis to see nothing but Sonic stickers and batteries. Dragon Ball Heroes? Is that the... Wait, hold on. What's Dragon... Hold on. Let me see. I'll look it up here. Dragon... mechanical. Oh, wait. That's something... Oh, wait. Japanese trading card arcade game. Oh, so that's something... Well, that's an old game. Well, Dragon Ball, hold on. According to this, that came out in 2010. Is that what they're releasing? I thought they were developing a new game. Let me see, an action RPG of the original Dragon Ball. Project Z is the action RPG coming out on a PS4. The card game is Dragon Ball Heroes. Okay, so that's an old game it's coming out now. I've never seen it. I would have no thoughts on it. That's interesting though. Yeah, I would love to see Aqua. I would love to see something for the original Dragon Ball. I would love to see some more media come out for that. I think that there's a lot of stuff that happened there that people just don't remember. Or more specifically, DB Superheroes. Hear me out, a JoJo. Oh yeah, I saw that you said that. I'm not familiar with the Yakuza team. That's my issue. I don't know that. That's why I just played the arcade game. I mean, if a JoJo game, I would imagine just like a beat 'em up. I think a beat 'em up style game would be more interesting. The JoJo for the Super Famicom had a bunch of different kinds of games. Like you played poker against Darby. I think the Kakyoin stage was like a shooter. That had a few different things. That would be kind of interesting. So what if Project Z came out with some DLC for a bit of for GT? I don't think anything. I think they're moving away from ever mentioning GT. Because GT, I'm pretty sure, is not canon. I'm not excited for the... Okay, yeah. Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. Ton of Dragon Ball card battle games for the Famicom and Game Boy in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. Yeah, I have the JoJo Super Famicom game, but it's all in Japanese, so it's a little hard to understand. I'm sure there's a translation for it out there. I believe it's for JoJo for JoJo there was an arcade game, and then the arcade game came out on the PlayStation, and the Dreamcast one had the first arcade game and then what they consider to be the second arcade game that had more characters on it. I believe it was all on one game. One Piece World Series. One Piece. You lose me once you talk about One Piece. I don't watch One Piece, and I've never had any interest in it. It's just too long. Oh, and thank you for Random Smitty for the 5 bits. Heritage for the future. Oh, okay. What do we have? 436. You know what? It's a little bit early, so I think we're gonna. Yeah, GT is no longer canon. I don't think I wonder if GT was ever canon, or at least it shouldn't have been. But yeah, we're gonna call it a little bit early if that's all right with everybody. I'm gonna relax, take a little bit of a break, and then we're probably gonna be streaming later. So, excuse me, sorry. Thank you everybody so much for stopping in, for hanging out, having some conversations, talking about the garbage fire that is Bubsy and Xbox Live on the Switch. I suppose. I don't really know. It's not going to stop them from using stuff from GT. They're going to stream the Splat. Oh, God, it is Splatfest tonight. Good Lord. I forgot all about that. I don't know. Maybe that's what I will stream. Maybe I will stream some Splatfest tonight. Thank you all so much for hanging out. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Play plenty of fun games. Pancakes for life over waffles. I will see you all next week. Until then, take care of yourself, play some fun games, and be good to each other. Wait, before you go, as we go, I got something new to show you. I got a new outro. So have fun, everybody, and I will see you all next time.